the Comox Valley, located on the traditional unceded territory of the Comox First Nation, the traditional keepers of this land. Beautifully located between mountains and the ocean in the middle of Vancouver Island, in Canada's most western province of British Columbia.
Hi, I'm Celine D, and I'm an actor, director, and storyteller located here in the Comox Valley. And this is Creating Community.
Follow along as we meet the members of Courtney Little Theatre while they work towards mounting their winter production of Cinderella. We will learn what it takes to bring a show to life and about the types of roles required to make it happen. Let's go behind the curtain to discover the magic and the wonder that lies here.
Welcome to my community.
The world's a stage, and I'm grateful that you taught me how to be a part of something bigger than myself. That every role's important, from the lead to the supporting. So much of who I am and who I try to be is thanks to my community. Thanks to my community.
As an audience, you're most familiar with the leads of a show. They are oftentimes the most recognizable characters. When thinking of fairy tales, most would speak of Cinderella, the story of a young girl forced into servitude by her stepmother, who wins over the kingdom and the prince with her kind and gentle heart. Celine D. Peters plays Cinderella, and Taite Marcoux plays Prince Christopher. We talk to them about the transformative power of theater and their hopes for the future.
So I played Cinderella, which is the lead role. It is probably one of my favorite roles that I've ever done in my life. I grew up wanting to be Cinderella and crying because you don't get to grow up to be Cinderella, but I did. And so for me, one of the best experiences to put on that gown and it was a lot of work. I'm not always the most experienced singer in the world, but yeah. It was amazing. Loved it.
It was really fun. I was Prince Charming in Cinderella, and it was my first time being a lead, and so it was really cool. I had never worked with the king and queen before, so it was really nice to meet them and spend some time with two new people and build that relationship. It was fun having Celine as Cinderella because we'd worked before together in Vanier in the last 2 years in improv, so it was nice to just build off of that relationship that we had. And yeah, super fun.
Like I said, it was a dream come true. I mean, it was a little nerve-wracking because this is Cinderella, you're like, you don't want to mess this up because she's this beautiful image of grace and beauty, and she really shows why kindness and being good matters in our world. And yeah, so that was a little bit of pressure for that. But, she's also a klutz, and so am I, so, it worked out.
When I moved here, by grade 7, I did Peter and the Starcatcher with Maisie, Laurie Maisie, in CLT. So that was my first show in the Valley. It was super cool, great cast and crew, and a great first experience here.
I went to high school for the first time in 2020 for my last 2 years. And I stumbled into the drama room and kind of just did as many courses I could in there, and that was my theater experience. A year ago, almost today, we did Radium Girls in my high school, and I got the lead role of Grace Fryer. And I did as much production as I did the lead role. I was all over the place, but that dedication that I just remember happening and all leading up to that role, it was really incredible to think hey, there was faith being put in me that I could do this, and it was really gratifying. Honestly, just a feel-good show. It's it has the performance and the the beauty, the flash a little bit here and there, but right when you leave Cinderella, you just smile because you're like, yeah, I know this story. The story never gets old. You know, it has the good, you know, rising above everything, you know, and it's just honestly one of the best family shows you can think of, you know. Any age will love this show. I would call it my first major, yes, leading role. I mean, I was Shelby Eatonton when we did Steel Magnolias this past fall, but it's ensemble play, so yes, a lead technically, but yeah. First lead in a musical, yes, definitely.
It was a lot of fun. It was nice to have built up towards it over the years, fitting into all of the small child spots, and then like now that I'm older, having a nice one where I can like be with a bunch of people who I've grown alongside of, and then be able to like continue seeing growth. And so it was really nice to be there and have a bunch of support from all my friends as I went out there and sang some songs. Back when I was younger, I don't remember, but in Peter and the Starcatcher, it was just the rewarding feeling that you get at the end of the show, meeting all those fun people who was like great to be around. And it just like, it fulfills that part of my brain that wants to be doing the acting and the just performing to people. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun, and I was like, that'd be super cool to do again.
This is probably one of my favorite memories ever. I had a good friend of mine, Lois Spratt, who said, hey, I have this free ticket. My husband's in the orchestra. Do you want to come see it? And I had never heard of theater. I did not even know what it was. But I was like, Little Mermaid, that sounds cool. And so I sat in the front row. And for the next 2-ish hours, I was completely captivated by that story. And like, I laughed, I cried, and I walked away knowing that this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And it was the part of me that I never knew I had, but always had wanted. So, a beautiful, magical night.
Partially it's like chasing that feeling, because it's just whenever I do a show, it's always nice at the end. I'm happy I did it and it's fulfilling. But I think it's just to watch myself progress. Like, I'll go show by show and I'll make sure that each time I do better than the time before. It's really fun having all the sides. So like, this was my first lead, and that was really cool because I got to like put a bunch of work in, be out there with my face on there. But then it's also so fun to be ensemble and have all those like fun dance choreo most of the time. And it's fun to try it each time with a new show, new director.
Growing up I was homeschooled for most of my life. And so, but I love reading books. You know, I loved stories. You know, like, and I was a kid with an overreactive imagination, so I was always daydreaming or something. And theater, in a way, it's a way of actually becoming that character. If actually, for once, it's not just a dream. You get to put on that costume. You get to, you know, literally wear these characters' shoes and just be someone else for that brief period of time. And for that little bookworm that's inside of me, it's what you always dreamed of. Honestly, the best.
Props and maybe set, but mostly like prop design, because I really like doing like tangible art. So I like soapstone carve, sculpt, and I would love to like carve foam and stuff. That'd be a very cool thing to try.
I feel like from what I have done, I'm a bit of a solution maker. So I kind of fill roles. Like right now, I'm doing costuming for the school district's Matilda. And so, like, you know, it's like school costumes and like little kid costumes. But also when I'm not in a lead role and they actually let me, I love building set too. Honestly, I just like doing little bits of everything. For me, like the behind stage magic is as important as the actors. In fact, it's so exciting, you know, to make this and create this world. Yeah, for me, I could do any part of it and be happy. Like I said, this probably goes back to my love of stories. Just, to me, stories are a part of our lives that we don't talk about enough, but it's why we do this in the first place. You know, since the beginning of time, study history, and history is just one beautiful big story. People have always loved hearing about other people's lives, you know, like have a conversation and it's just a bunch of stories that we've experienced or had or heard. And so theater is just a way of bringing that all to life in a new magical way. So yeah, that's probably my biggest, and just the people you get to work with too. They're like, you know, people you would never think to hang out with or something, and suddenly they're your best friend offset. I think it's pretty cool.
Kind of like the feeling is one of the things, but it's other people who I strive to like meet those same, like when I watch someone like Nathaniel Johnson do anything, I'm like, oh my goodness, if I can get to that level, that would be so cool. And then just like when people after a show are like, Tate, you did so good, that was like, it was so much fun to watch that. Like every part about the show was so much fun. It makes me like, oh yeah, I'm gonna keep getting better so that more people can enjoy coming to watch what shows I'm in.
You never know what'll happen or like how it will affect you. You know, like for me, I discovered a love that I never knew I had. For some people, it gives them, like, I've seen this, that it gives them like a new sense of confidence, or they find that, you know, the people they never knew they needed, or maybe it inspires them to go in a different direction. Not to mention the skills you learn. You know, you learn people skills, you learn how, like me, you learn construction, or like, you know, just, yeah, basically, like even just, it looks good on your resume. It's like, just do it for that.
Because it's just such a good feeling. You meet amazing people. There's so many reasons to do it. It's the reward, the ability to express yourself and try that new experience. I think it helps you like develop as a person.
Community theater changed my life by opening the door that, like I said, I never knew was there. You know, it let me release my imagination. It let me, you know, not be afraid of people, not just really overcome a lot of fears. I was a sheltered child who didn't know anything. And then I stepped into theater and discovered a whole new world.
Community theater has changed my life by inspiring me to become an actor. Like going forward, it's given me so many new friends and experiences. And I think the best thing about it is that I know that no matter what I do going forward in my life, I always have the community theater, that if I'm really craving that feeling, I'm like, I can just do theater in wherever I am with whoever it is, and it's the same feeling whenever you do it. It's the same, like the people are different, but all the vibes are the same. And I think it's made me have more fun in life. Like it's a reward each year to do it.
Theater is just a beautiful world that I get to now be a part of, and this community is so rich in it, and the wonderful people that have built this. Thank you so much.
Positive impacts that I've witnessed from community theater are giving a safe place for people who are just needing that in their life, and it's a nice supportive community, so as well as it being a safe place, there's people there who can help them with whatever they need, just like support them as they go through whatever they're going through. And it's lovely to watch that. Every show that I do, there's probably some little background bit where I'm like, oh, that's really sweet, I saw that. And it's a nice place for building community. Like in the Valley, we have great community through the community theater. Whenever like one theater group needs something, so many people jump to it. And it's lovely to see that little teamwork in effect.
Theater in that way, I really think back to the end of Cinderella, because like I said, when I said it's a feel-good show. So after Cinderella, one of the final nights, they had me put on the beautiful blue sparkling dress again and go out into the lobby to take pictures with the little girls. And I was reminded what the magic that theater has, because there was there must have been 25, just these adorable children in their little princess dresses coming up to me and, you know, like saying like, hi, maybe they would tell me their names, and like one little girl said like, magic is real. And like, honestly, this kind of makes me want to cry, because it makes people believe in life. It makes you want to believe in the good again. It makes you think, it makes you question things. It's a way that we can talk about things that, you know, sometimes is really hard in conversation. You know, but just seeing those smiles on those girl faces, I'm like, if that isn't affecting your community, I don't know what is. For one, it doesn't matter what you think you can or cannot do. It's just a matter of just trying. And yes, trying is hard, believe me.
I'd say jump into it, find a way that, like, a middle ground that makes you feel comfortable, doing some theater with your school, trying out improv if that's available at your school, just maybe working behind the scenes once, and then just like to get the feelings. And then I think a lot of people, once they see how it is, then they feel comfortable and they're like, oh, okay, either like next time I could do that, or I'm happy that I did it. And yeah, just like no matter what, with the community, people will be there to support you, and you'll always feel satisfied after because you're always good enough, and it just takes a little bit of work and then you got it.
You will find it's welcoming, and if you just have an open mind and are just willing to, like, okay, I've never done this before, I promise you it's just a matter of trying and just having a smile on your face and being willing to put the work in. It's going to be one of the best experiences of your life, I promise. Honestly, that it just continues. I think I'm around a place where I see like a lot of these people, and like, you know, people don't last forever. And so like to see all this knowledge hopefully being passed down, and that hopefully people will come up and, you know, take their place one day and continue with these beautiful traditions of, you know, like this Christmas musical. I couldn't imagine this valley without it. Yeah, I'm hoping that honestly it just never dies.
It was a pleasure catching up with these two young actors. Their enthusiasm for theater is truly inspiring. It's incredible to see so many young people get to find a sense of belonging within a community that values inclusion. They're so fortunate to have found their passion at such a young age.
We thought that we were only learning how to entertain, but growing up I've realized just how much more we gain. The world's a stage, and I'm lucky that you taught me how to be a part of something bigger than myself. That every role's important, from the lead to the supporting. So much of who I am and who I try to be is thanks to my community. Thanks to my community.